Hello, this is the introduction to Unit 2, Writing and Civilization. Civilization is a conversation. At some point, when early hominids hunted in bands in the African savanna, they developed a technique of chipping flakes off a rock to make a sharp edge, the first hand axe. If these early pioneers had been trampled by an elephant, then that would have been the end of the story, but possibly because their new invention gave them a competitive advantage, the band of hunters who invented the hand axe survived to pass their invention down to future generations, and for millions of years, the design of the hand axe continued to persist. Eventually, early humans learned to adapt and refine the technique for making hand axes, and eventually, this technique became a foundation for other forms of technology and further innovation. About 10,000 years ago, a new advanced technology, writing, allowed people with advanced skills and new ideas to share their ideas with one another beyond the limits of the face-to-face encounter, a revolution in the human condition that we refer to as the dawn of history. Since then, the pace of human cultural evolution has blasted off into the stratosphere, remaking the entire planet and reshaping the nature of humanity itself. This radical change has been made possible by the same power of writing discussed in the previous unit, its unique ability to freeze an idea in space and time and allow it to act as a stepping stone to another idea, which then becomes the starting point for yet another idea, resulting in a ratchet effect whereby collective human activity ascends to higher levels of abstraction and complexity. When you behold the awesome power of a space rocket, the profound poetry of a mathematical formula, or the miraculous infinitude of the World Wide Web, what you are seeing is the culmination of thousands of years of readers reading what writers have written, and then using what they have read as the basis for their own continued thinking and writing. Civilization is a house built out of language, and specifically out of writing, and writing always implies a community of readers, each of whom is a potential writer. Civilization is a conversation, and for the last 10,000 years or so, the conversation has taken place in writing, whether on clay tablets, papyrus scrolls, leather parchment, paper, or computer screens. Last week, we focused on the importance of personal experience and individual inspiration, and these concepts are indeed very important to any discussion of what writing is and how it works. But it is also the case that personal experience does not exist in a vacuum. Personal experience is largely shaped by the interpersonal environment. Likewise, individual inspiration, however elevated and abstract it may appear, is always embedded in a socio-historical context. Even the words that you use to make your thinking possible were not invented by you. Language itself is something we inherit from our human community, and anything we do with it, however original or unprecedented, always participates in a conversation that extends back to those primordial ancestors pondering over their stone tools. The importance of the communal aspect of language is particularly pronounced in academic and professional environments, arenas which are largely defined by their tacit acknowledgement of shared cultural, linguistic, and rhetorical conventions. To have any credibility as an academic, a researcher, a scientist, a policymaker, or a thinker, it is necessary to demonstrate a familiarity with the conversations that other academics, scientists, policymakers, and thinkers are having. I might have an idea that seems interesting to me, but if I can't explain it in a way that relates it to the ideas that other people have had, as in, they think this, but I think that, or they think this, but I would go a step further, there is no way to tell whether or not it is a good or original idea, how the idea might apply to other ideas, or why anyone else should care about my idea. Without tapping my ideas into the ongoing conversation being had by other people who are writing about similar topics, my idea is in danger of going extinct, like the invention of the caveman who gets trampled by an elephant. Obviously, it is important to research a topic simply to learn facts about what you're studying. Even more importantly, however, the ultimate value of research is that reading what other people have to say about a given topic familiarizes you with the way that subject is talked about by people who are experts in the field. You become familiar with the specific terminology that experts use to discuss the topic. You come upon different perspectives, emphases, and value judgments that have been brought to bear on the topic, and you learn about the kinds of forums where these discussions are happening, whether it be research journals, newspaper editorial pages, white papers, or professional conferences. Steeping yourself in the conversations that are already being had about your topic provides you with the resources to be able to enter the conversation yourself by making your own original contribution to the million-year-old conversation that is the human experience on planet Earth.